come to me.
Focus Features invites you to succumb to the darkness.
Nosferatu.
From director Robert Eggers comes a masterpiece of horror.
He is coming. This creature is a force more powerful than evil. It is death itself.
Nosferatu. Rated R. Under 17 without parent. Only in theaters Christmas Day. Special engagements in Dolby and IMAX.
Being a marketer's no sweat. You just have to manage dozens of channels, launch hundreds of campaigns, score thousands of leads, and okay, fine. It's a lot of sweat. Unless you have HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools to help you do all that and more. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
Hey there, Vault Dwellers. Follow us as we take a topic from the Fallout universe and discuss it in a group of diverse individuals. We are the Fallout Roundtable. Join us. The conversation has already started.
Welcome to another episode of the Fallout Roundtable. I am your host, Maverick Stone. And guess what? We're back, baby. Guess who's back? Back again. After a couple weeks off since Las Vegas, since the Goodsprings Las Vegas celebration, we are back, baby. With me today, I have Jaxus and the lovely sassy lady with me.
Hi. Hello. Don't mind Maverick. You don't know how to operate a camera.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh my gosh, I forgot I have my camera on.
He's in his car or something.
Yeah, well, he's getting ready to go drive his truck. Ah, he disappeared.
I disappeared.
He said something.
He don't want anybody looking at his mug.
No.
He said, don't look at my mug.
Well, anyway, guys, before we get started, because we got a lot to talk about, because we've been away for a while, guys. How about you rate, review, and subscribe to our YouTube channel? All the new subscribers that we're getting, that we got, or whatever. You can type in the Fallout Roundtable on our YouTube. All of what you see here on Thursday nights, they go directly there after we edit them and everything. And then how about you go?
The royal we.
Sorry, I'm playing with you.
I'm about to say, you corrected me earlier, and I'm like,
after he.
After he. Someone does it.
Someone does it.
Yeah.
It just happens magically.
Yeah. Why don't you also go to our Twitter, X, or whatever, at Fallout RTB, and you can send us a message there. You can we put out polls, a bunch of fun stuff over there. You can just hang out, have fun.
And especially on our YouTube channel, please do me a favor and subscribe. Hit the little button, please. Send us a review. Yeah, please.
Speaking of reviews, on our Spotify, I finally figured out our review system.
How to see the comments.
How to see the comments.
It's like we've been getting them for the past 3 or 4 years, and it was like all of a sudden we're like, oh, hey, look, they've been sending them. We just don't know.
I'm just dumb.
I told them about them. You probably remember this, but they forgot. Didn't understand.
What? Those
I didn't know where to find them. That's
those
the problem.
word things.
Yeah. And I found them one day while looking for something else. I wasn't even looking for it.
I hope you remember where you went.
I remember where
you got to go back and find it again.
That'd be me. I'd be like, oh crap, where did I go?
Oh crap, where did I put it? and while you're at it, how about you go to our Gmail, followrtb@gmail.com. You can find us there. Also, you can send us good topic ideas. Or if you just want to say hi, we'll answer back. That's cool.
You can send us bad, topic ideas too. We'll take those.
Yeah, we'll take those
into consideration.
Yeah. We'll take those into consideration also. So, yeah, awesome.
I mean, we've never had a bad topic idea.
Oh
not.
no, we make it work somehow. We
Mhm.
make it work.
Yep.
And we just asked Todd Howard, and he goes, "It just works."
It just works. Yes.
We took his advice. We're like, okay, right.
So anyway, it's been a while, guys. How before we actually get into the Fallout portion of the show, how are we doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I actually shaved off some of my beard to get it to grow back again, so that by the time we get there, it'll be at the same length again.
Oh, yeah, it's rather short.
Yeah. Well, my wife's like, "Don't shave off your beard," like, because she knows I get weird moods, and I'll like shave my head and shave my beard and
Yeah, it'll
dye
grow
my
back.
hair, you know,
For
white with
everyone
blue
that
spikes or
was
something.
at the celebration, you saw bald head Maverick there.
Yep, Mr. Chrome Dome.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
saw Mr. Chrome down, and now that it's getting uber cold up north, no, I'm not bald no more.
He's growing hair back.
I'm growing hair back because I did it for a good solid week, and I'm like, I'm cold. My head's
You
cold.
also saw Wasteland Jacks. That was a pretty good look.
Wasteland Jacks. Yeah.
That was pretty cool. That was a cool look.
Sassy lady, anything cool, interesting since we last saw each other in Las Vegas, Nevada?
Just work. My oven died. That was our Thanksgiving.
All right. Awesome. Dead oven.
Woo!
We got a new one
Dead
on
oven.
Black Friday sale. It just got delivered this morning. I haven't
Did
even
you-
seen it yet because I was
Did
at
you
work.
get to eat turkey or did it like
No, we got a pre-cooked ham.
Oh. So
Oh.
it totally ruined the whole turkey idea, huh?
I mean, my husband was gonna try cooking a turkey breast in the crock pot or something, but I think he just kind of gave up on that.
That doesn't
so
even that sounds like he made a good decision.
no turkey for
Yeah,
us.
sounds like it too.
So yeah, there's one in the freezer, so we might make it.
I think it's
No,
time
we
for
have
your
a working
husband to
oven.
invest in a smoker.
Oh my gosh,
Yes,
right? I would love that.
smoking. I love a good
That would be cool.
smoker.
He
So
does
my-
not like to cook outdoors. I love it, but he
So
doesn't
my
like.
buddy Murthos like made a smoker. Like he made
Oh
it.
wow!
Yeah, so his old smoker was like he makes like 3-4 turkeys during the season and like
Oh
takes it to his
yeah.
family members and stuff.
Yep.
Well, he built this one. He like grabbed this like old barrel thing. I don't know what it is exactly, but
Yeah.
it might even have been an old hot water heater. I don't know what the hell it
Who
is.
knows? Yeah,
But
you just need a container.
he got out there with his torch and he did all this cutting and shit, Mr.
Yeah.
Fix It did, welded all this crap together, used like the legs off his old freaking, smoker or whatever and built
Oh,
this
cool.
whole thing. It looks professional as hell. I was like,
Wow.
it looks like I would have bought that thing.
Like, where'd you buy that?
Yeah,
He's like,
exactly.
I made
and
it.
I'm like, oh my God, dude. Like, I mean, I'm pretty adventurous at making stuff, but I'm like, damn, dude, this guy got his shit together. Like,
Yeah,
you could see
no.
his the bead on
Wow.
his welds were like perfect, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
gosh.
He's like,
And if
no,
I made
no, it
something
ain't
like that, it would
perfect."
fall apart. It'd be like clunk.
But man, yeah, he swears by pellet grills and smoking. Man, he makes
There is nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
no.
No,
It
that's
tastes-
some good. That sounds good.
Also, but it depends on what type of wood you use.
Yeah.
Or
I know that he
Yeah.
was cooking. So when he first made it, he like cooked a few like briskets and things like that in it
don't
get-
even get me started. I
Yeah.
haven't eaten-
to
I
get
haven't
it to like
eaten tonight, and I
saturate the
don't.
to get it to saturate the inside of it or whatever. So
Oh,
it,
yeah,
like,
to
grabs
cure
the
it.
flavor. Yeah,
Oh,
So he-
wow.
Ooh.
But dude, like he shows the turkey and like he could just touch it with the fork and just kind of peel it away.
Oh, wow. I love that.
The
And
outside was like
I love me some brisket.
it was
Oh,
like a
man,
little
that's
bit
fabulous.
crispy on the outer edges, but as soon as he touched it, it was like super moist on the inside. I'm
Oh,
like,
See,
damn.
that's what I like. See, I hate when
Yeah.
turkey gets dry. That drives me nuts.
Nah, I could tell from visually. I could tell it's like, oh my
Uh-huh.
goodness, this is incredible. I want to do this. So
Yeah,
eventually,
that is a bucket list for me for sure. Like if I ever have my dream house, I want an outdoor kitchen and I
Yeah.
want like all the things.
all the pellet grill and
Yes.
the
like
smoker and
the flat top grill, like
the
whole
flat
nine
top,
yards.
so you can go outside
Yep.
and cook eggs and bacon and
Yep.
stuff.
Yep. Like
See,
the
I'm a
whole
pro-
thing.
Wacha,
Like
wacha.
I'm
Like
a breakfast
that's
guy. I like my
yeah.
breakfast foods, and like if I
Like
had
you
a
can cook like everything on those,
yeah,
they're just
I'd be out
it's
there making
amazing.
tilapia and all kinds of stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
So some that my dad's gotten into, he's gotten into Blackstone grills.
Oh, yeah, those are good grills. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he loves cooking on his.
Mm-hmm.
He originally got one from a couple years ago from one of his buddies. It's a giant one, and now he's shrunk it. He's gotten a newer one
You
where
pour water on it and it just went no.
yeah, he's just done that. It's really cool. But he's gotten a smaller one so he can take it
Careful when you
camping with
clean
him.
it.
Man. Yeah,
Where
that's
where he takes it camping and he makes it makes such good breakfast food or just food in general on that thing.
Mm.
yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
Food.
that's good
I,
stuff.
dude, I got so fat. Like I'm like, you know how I've been on this diet and I lost like 40 pounds. Well, I'm like I get done with this whole Thanksgiving job here, right? And I'm like 195 and I'm like
I
you know,
know.
I'm back down to 191. So I'm trying to get back down to, I was almost at like 185, man. I was almost there. I was
And
almost
I'm
there.
trying to figure out. So like all through October, November, we were so freaking busy. I didn't even get lunch at work, and yet I still gained 10 pounds. I'm like, how does that work?
Because
I,
of the
I like
snacky
skipped
shit that
meals for like a month. You know
you
what it
might
is?
have,
Trail mix.
yeah, trail mix
Living on
and
Yeah.
trail mix.
yeah, trail
My
mix and
nuts and
anything
berries.
like a freaking candy bar and stuff like that. It's all that
Mm.
sugar in there. Yeah.
Well, I just eat trail mix. Like I don't eat like a lot of junk food, but like I think we have to switch to chips or something. 'Cause,
No, like so the chips
like,
and look at the calories because you'll be
yeah.
amazed how many calories there are in a little tiny bag of chips.
Oh, I
Like,
It's
know.
yeah,
And there's
insane.
like nothing there. It does. It's not there to satisfy you. But like,
no.
I just eat literally. This is what I live on. Stuff like this. And it says 150 calories per serving.
How
Problem
many
is, there's
servings per bag, though?
13 servings in this container,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yes.
Do the math. It'll
I'm like,
catch up
not
with
when you're
you.
starving and your brain is like fried because you are not
So,
giving it any food.
Sassy, this being your very first time going to the Fallout New Vegas event, I have to ask my usual questions. And what was the most exciting thing that you found? Maybe exciting is not the right word, but what was the most important thing that you found there at the event? Like what enticed you the most?
Meeting people.
Just the community element, the
Yeah, the
meeting of
community
people.
and getting to meet the people that because like I've talked to people online for years, but never met them because I always see people that are on the East Coast. I don't see a
Right.
lot of West Coasters. So getting to meet the West Coasters, like you and then Mav, because he just ended up being there. But like all the people like Nikki and Zach and
Yeah.
getting to meet
Yeah.
Steven and uh getting to meet um gosh, just all everybody. Like I met way more people than I ever thought I would.
I've
And
met a whole bunch of people I'd never even met before. I
right.
met
But like
Orange, who is
being able to put
know, big on Twitch
faces
and stuff.
to names, and I even met some East Coasters that I'd never met before, you know,
Yeah,
because
well,
they went there, but they've never been to, so I'm like heavily recruiting people.
you're like going to
Like,
Foshnot? Yeah, come
yeah,
on.
I'm like, hey, y'all need to come to Fashnot. So Zach wants to come to Fashnot, and I'm like, we got to figure out how to make this happen. It's a little more difficult because the airport situation isn't as convenient as it is in Goodsprings. So that's the only problem.
Yeah, yeah, because Las Vegas is literally right there.
Right, but like it is not right there
Oh, well, for
No.
in
Zach,
West Virginia.
you might have to incorporate the helpings of maybe a Kenneth Vigu to like help him, fund his trip somehow.
Well, it's not that even.
Mm.
It's the like once you fly there, then you got to rent a car to
It's the
drive because
logistics.
right,
Yeah,
because it's
logistics are
so
a pain
far
in the
from an
butt.
airport. It's so far from an airport. And it's not like, oh, I can just catch a ride with somebody or whatever. And you probably could, but it's probably easier to catch a ride from somebody who lives near a big airport. Because we
Yeah,
were talking to one of Ma Tater's friends, who wants to come out and he lives in California.
I
And she
love
was
Ma
like,
Tater. I love
oh,
Ma
isn't she
Tater.
Yeah, she
great?
Like
she she was a hoot.
Isn't she great?
meeting her
Why do
and
you think I hang out with her all the time?
well, like I don't get the opportunity to.
No,
Okay,
I
so it's
know.
like
I don't
uh,
either.
just having that, like, and of course, I'm always in passing with everybody while I'm at the event because I'm actually
Right.
working while I'm
Yeah.
there. I mean, it's like for me, it's like a kind of like a job situation for me in
Right.
most ways, and it's
Oh,
like,
I was pretty excited that I got to spend the amount of time with you that I did.
yeah, because I'm like, hey, how you doing? Hi.
Yeah, it was like he's here, he's there, he's everywhere. I was like, I actually got like 10 minutes of your time.
Yeah, well, I try. It drives me a little nuts because I'll come over, I'll sit down at the table, and then I'll get up. And
Yeah.
then I'll sit down at the table, and then I'll get up. And
Yeah.
it's just I'm trying to do as much networking with the other, YouTubers and
Right.
Twitch people. I mean, that's how I met Orange, and I met
Did you meet
why
that
is it?
Bethesda guy?
What's that?
Did you meet that Bethesda person?
Yes, I met with the folks from Bethesda.
Oh,
Um,
did you get, because I never
yeah,
did run into
me and Kenneth Vigu were actually there at the same time, and he was already there talking to him,
yeah.
and
I was gonna say he probably found him, yeah. Because
we were
he didn't he
talking.
fly over?
What's that?
Didn't he fly over?
Who? Kenneth?
No, not Kenneth. All I can think of is his Twitter name right now.
Well, what's his Twitter name?
Yeah, what's his
Malta
story?
Daedalus. Malta Daedalus. I think I'm saying it right. Daedalus. How do you say that?
Daedalus?
Malta
I don't know.
Ron. Rob.
I don't know. You're losing
I
me
gotta
there.
look on Twitter. He's
Yeah,
the
yeah, it's like
Bethesda
who?
guy.
Well, there was actually I was speaking mainly with two ladies that were part of Bethesda with the media elements of Bethesda.
Oh,
So they handle,
Cammy? Was
yeah,
Cammy there?
I believe
Okay.
so. So, yeah. Um, the one thing
Rob,
is
Malta Daedalus. Yeah, Rob came.
I am incredibly bad with names, so that's just kind of how
Yeah,
I am.
Rob went, and I don't. He lives in England, and he's an international community manager, and I thought that I was thinking he had flown in, but I didn't know if he was wearing a hat like I think it was like an Indiana Jones kind of hat.
And then there was the guy who had programmed his Pip Boy. He was
Oh
showing us
yeah,
how that
the
worked.
That I caught some of that.
And
The guy that made the Pip-Boy, yeah,
yeah, I'm trying to
for the
remember his
TV
name
show.
right now. I know his last name was like Witherspoon,
I
but
don't remember. I was
Courtney
watching because I was
Witherspoon.
I
watching a bunch of videos that everybody had done from the
It
weekend. I was like watching for myself, but I caught somebody
like
had
I
caught his
just
whole
met the
thing.
guy, and it was I've never met him before, and like man, he was really intriguing to listen to and to
Mm-hmm.
sit there and watch him do his thing. He had just gotten his gold plaque from, YouTube, and he had that with him. I was like, wow, just
Oh,
seeing his
that's
gold
cool.
plaque up close, it was like, yeah, awesome. And then I got to hang out with TKS Mantis more than I normally do because usually we're like going in two different directions because he's usually either running up to go do the contest for
Yeah.
the costume contest while I'm running over to go do something for Fallout for Hope. So we don't really connect a whole lot other than the times in between. So it's like we'll run up, we'll have a quick conversation. Like some dude came over and tried to like flex on TKS Mantis while he was sitting there doing his thing, and I'm like, what is this dude doing? And so security actually had to take care of that guy, which was very unfortunate. Like normally we don't really have any situations like that, but
so
um,
that's why
No, there was a couple of
security was
situations, but
yeah.
I think everything was
yeah.
handled so well that it wasn't like made into a big deal.
No, because like we didn't, the community as a whole did not, get out of line. It was just some stragglers, I would have to say.
Yeah, it was just a couple of people, and I think it was just the fact that people were drinking too much, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's a big part of it.
I don't think it was
yeah.
mainstays of the community. I think these were
No,
like,
I don't even know because
people
like
that heard
I
about
don't
the
even
event
know who the
showed up.
people
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
And it
You
was
remember
just
that
some
weird conversation we had with that guy?
With that guy.
I had a
That
few
guy
weird
that was drinking
conversations, so I really
that
can't.
was talking about that we were talking about podcasting.
Oh,
Uh, uh,
oh, the guy that was talking about my aura.
yeah, your aura.
Yeah, we was talking
I
about
remember,
you got this look, man. You should be in the game, and I was like, he was just going on, and I'm like, okay,
Well, I
you
mean, you
know,
did have the right look to be in the game,
well, that's the idea of dressing
we
up
right?
looked
I
at
mean,
each
that's
like.
other
why we
after this
cosplay.
Yeah.
conversation and was
But
like,
at
we're
the
never
same
getting that
time,
10
it
minutes
was
back.
like it was very flattering. I have to say that. I mean, it's like, the guy was like, "You got this aura about you. It's just something." And I'm
Yeah, I'm
like,
not gonna lie though. There was a lot of really stoned people there though. A lot of
well,
stoned people. A lot
that
of
might
stoned
have a
people.
lot to do with it.
Yeah, and I would say if people start talking about the aura and stuff, it's like maybe you had a little too much of the wacky tobacco. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you might have took one puff too many, brother.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, everywhere I turned
Come on,
around.
Sassy, help feed my ego here. Come on.
No, it's not that. I'm not saying like you did look like you could fit in the game, but if you started talking about your aura and stuff, it was like if you're seeing colors right now, you might have had a little too much. So,
Somehow we got into PC gaming, and then we talked about podcasting in general. And then after the dude left, I remember you and I looked at each other, and we both had that look like we're not getting those 10 minutes back, are we?
No, no,
oh,
never.
welcome to my life. Now you know what it's like for me every day at work.
No, we're not getting those 10 minutes back.
A lot of people I spend time with like that, and I'm like, hey, I'm never getting that back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying he was a bad guy. Bad guy.
So
He seemed really
I had
funny.
an experience that I haven't had there before yet, and I had a lot of people ask me to sign autographs, and I felt
Oh, me too.
that was quite an
Wow.
experience. I was like, okay,
I
well,
was so happy.
Wow.
It
I
fed
did
my
not have that
ego.
experience.
I was like,
No, actually I did once.
I'm like TKS month.
Well,
This
maybe I
must
did
be
a couple
rubbing
times,
off
but
on
it was
me.
it was interesting. Yeah, I did a couple, but it was different. Yeah.
Yeah, well, everybody I kept getting it quite a bit, and I'm like, okay, sure.
I signed a bucket.
I
I
did too.
signed a
bu-
And
bucket.
I signed a
Oh, you
hat
signed
too.
somebody's
Did
bucket?
you sign the bucket? Yeah.
I think I signed the bucket too.
Yeah, it was oh god, it was Fly's hat. Yeah.
I think I did. I don't remember.
She was
But I
with
know I
Shane.
signed a couple hats.
She was with Shane. She was wearing a metal bucket on her head. It was part of her
Yeah,
costume.
yeah.
And
I
she was
remember
having
what she
people
looks
sign it.
like.
And then I signed, that's right, I forgot. I signed Mrs. Fallout's camera. Didn't you? I
Me?
thought you did.
No.
But I thought Jax's did. Were you not with us when we did it?
When you
We
Jackson
signed
was
her
up
camera?
front.
Because she's buying Polaroids now for each event that she goes to, and she's having everybody sign the Polaroid.
Oh, that's
Honestly,
So she's
smart.
got
That's
like
really cool.
the one that she took to South by Southwest is signed by everybody. And then she's got this one from the Fallout Days meetup. And if she comes to Foshnot, hopefully she'll get another one and then everybody will sign that.
I'm speaking of Foshnot. After you and my mother had a conversation.
If she want to come,
Yeah. Yes, she does.
yay! You'll like it.
Why
It's
do you
not
sound-
anything.
Well, he's like, oh yeah, she does.
Well, she can come. You don't have to.
Well,
She can come.
it's not because I don't want to. It's the days off.
Yeah,
That-
yeah.
Oh, well, it's a weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday.
I
Well, Saturday.
work-
Basically, it's
I work
Saturday.
Tuesday to Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah, and in the retail world, weekends are more important.
yeah. I got lucky. It's my weekend off, so I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. So, like,
Unlike the people in the retail world, I drive for a living. It's harder for me.
What are you talking about? The retail world? Retail world is where we spend every Saturday.
You are in the retail world. That's
Yeah.
why you drive.
But we are the retail world.
Yeah, all of us.
You
unfortunately.
supply the retail world.
Say in some
Yeah, I supply it.
some
With its
facet.
endless goods.
And I medicate it, so there. No.
You know what I mean.
That's funny. So, all right, I had somebody come up to me and they got pissed off at me, right? Because I do a certain particular job. My job, I can't do certain things for certain people. And
Right.
they were like, can you unlock this? And I'm like, no, I can't. And they go,
No.
don't you work here? And I go, yes, as a matter of fact, I do. And when I get done doing this right here, I'm going to immediately go make you a turkey sandwich. Then I'm going to go change your tires for you. And then when I get done with that, I'll be more than happy to get your prescription ready.
Right? I don't know what it is. Like, what was it today? Somebody walked up and asked
funny.
some random question, and I'm like, because pharmacy knows everything. They're like, do you have some random crap that has nothing to do with pharmacy thing in stock? And I'm like, why would I know that? I'm like, and I know why it is because nobody can ever find the people at service desk because they never stay at their desk.
No,
And pharmacy
they're
people never leave our box. So they always come to us. They're like, "Where's the
Because you
shoelaces?
can't.
Where's
No, you
this?
can't
Where's
leave the
that?"
box.
No, we can never leave. So they come to us. Where's the shoelaces? Where's this? Where's that? And half the time I'm just like, I look at the ceiling at the. I'm like, well, let's see. If it were me, I would probably look on aisle 5 where it says, XYZ. But
And then you get
I'm
called a
just like,
smartass because you told them it's on the aisle that says exactly what they're fucking
yes,
looking
exactly. I'm like, if I were looking for water, I would look on that aisle that says, oh, water.
Water.
Because
Yeah.
nobody reads.
Where's
But
the
yeah, somebody asked,
bathroom?
I
There's
don't
like
even
a
remember
big
what it
old
was.
sign there.
All I could think of was I
Yeah.
just like stopped and was like, why would I know that? It's like, and people don't realize like the more you interrupt me, the more likely I am to make a mistake and kill you. But okay, go ahead and ask me where your freaking shoelaces are.
That's why I love the look on the face of the person when I said I get their prescription ready. They're like, "Oh yeah,
No, don't do that.
I didn't." The
After I
look,
change your
Yeah, don't
tires,
do
my
that.
hands
yeah,
will be nice and greasy.
yeah, just ready for it. It's like I'll change your tires, I'll make you a sandwich, and then I'll get your prescription ready. It's like
Because I work here,
they automatically assume since you work there, you should know how to do
that I
everything
do it
there.
all.
Yeah,
And I
you
know
should know where everything
and I know
is.
exactly where it's all kept
Yeah.
and like whatever. And like if I have it in stock, no, I don't.
It's like, no, so sorry.
Yeah, like we're all experts in our own little thing.
Or if you're not even on the clock and you're going somewhere to go do something, they get indignantly pissed off because you tell them you're off the clock. I'm
I
like, and what
know,
would you do if you were leaving your job and somebody asked
right?
you for another taco?
I've been in the parking lot and people are like, "Is the pharmacy closed?" Yeah, it is. You see me outside? That's not normal. Like I can't come outside if it's open, so therefore it's closed. And they'll like literally some
Yes,
lady.
folks, we go into everything when we get up.
Yeah, we talk about we get
Yeah,
tangents,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
fun.
we
We have to
do.
go.
It's fun. But yeah, it's craziness. But
But to pull things back to the Fallout world.
yeah, back to
Yeah.
Fallout.
Back to Fallout.
Can't wait till all those
here.
people get nuked. No, just
So-
kidding.
How was your guys' accommodations? How did you feel about that part? Like, did you were you
Like
happy with
my
it?
hotel room?
Yeah,
or like there.
Oh,
Yeah, were your hotel rooms? I mean,
It
Oh,
was
well,
a
we-
Holiday Inn Express. It was fine.
we stayed at the Sahara. It was great.
yeah. So you really enjoyed it, and was it
Yeah,
cost?
I mean-
Was it cost effective? I mean,
Mine was definitely cost effective. Yeah,
for what
I had to
we
travel a little
wanted,
bit more,
for
but
what we wanted, it was because we spent on a weekend what we would have spent for a night if we stayed at the other end of the strip.
mhm.
and
So
that's
we got
why
pretty-
I stayed away.
We got a pretty good deal at the Sahara, and it's because it's at the ass end of the strip where there's nothing, right? Because it's up by the Strat. And
So it's a matter of just kind of shopping around. You want to make
yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah, we did. We looked at a lot of places online. We already knew like we couldn't afford Bellagio or Venetian, even though my husband gets to stay there next week, and I'm really jealous. He's going out for some work thing again, and he gets to stay at the Venetian.
Well,
So I'm really jelly.
Are they paying for his stay at the Venetian?
Yeah.
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 That's why.
And I'm like, damn it, why can't I have like the week off so I can go with them?
Because our
Um,
corporate account is not that big yet, okay?
I mean, he has his own room. I mean, all I gotta do is pay for airfare. Yeah, our corporate account's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, our corporate's not there.
So
yet.
we did that. We wanted to stay on the strip because I have never stayed on the strip. I've driven around Vegas, through Vegas, everything, but I've never done the strip.
So was it worth it? Did you enjoy this?
It was fun. We Friday we walked all the way from the Sahara to Mandalay Bay and back. So
a few miles.
it was a bit. And the only thing that I really, really, really wanted was to see the show at the Bellagio, which I did get to see, but I'm very annoyed because since the F1 was coming, they had
ruined
everything.
everything.
They ruined it all. They had everything blocked off. They had stupid, probably fancy seating
For those
built
that
right in
don't
front
know,
of the hotel.
F1 means Formula One racing. They have brought
Yeah.
that.
Formula One.
Yeah. They
Sorry,
take
people who
over
aren't
our
racing
They
car
take over our
world.
strip. They don't really make us that much money, and
Yeah.
they are really, really strict
ruin
on
the
who can
views.
see everything. They
They
ruin
ruin
it for
the
the
views for
tourist.
sure.
Yes, they ruin the view for the tourist.
Yeah.
And
They took the tram away. I noticed that
Yeah.
the tram was gone because they had so many barricades out they couldn't ride, they couldn't do the tram.
Personally, I could think of a million different ideas that would bring more revenue to Las Vegas than stupid Formula One
Then
races.
Formula One. I don't, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, I've been to one Formula One race and it was in Vancouver and it was fun, but I'm just like, I don't get it.
Well, why not just have a second street NASCAR street race like they do up in Chicago every
Or
4th of July?
create a very specific area that has nothing to do with the. I
Yeah, like, why does
understand
it have to be on the strip?
because
Yeah. Why don't you have the Formula One at Las Vegas Motor Speedway up the road?
well,
Because then it wouldn't be they're looking for a Grand Prix. It wouldn't be Grand Prix then.
yeah.
Well. You can do like You can do stuff. They do it in Charlotte every year.
I just think they need to
Where
find an alternative, some way
it's
of.
different when you run it through the city streets. It's different than when you run it on track.
Well, yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. I'm just saying on our tangent of how Formula One is destroying the Las Vegas Strip every year.
I just wish that the
I just
timing was
they ruin
different
it. They
because
ruin it for the tourist. That's just the
yeah,
way I
I would
look at
have
it.
liked to
I
have
mean,
been
it was
able to
cool
like
when I was leaving.
enjoy the
I saw the
Bellagio the
track, but
way I wanted to enjoy it. And what I got to see of the Bellagio was on the side of about 5 or 6 feet that they had left open. I got to see the show from the side, from about 2 people deep, because everybody else was trying to do the same thing. While the whole front end, you couldn't see anything because they had these everything blocked off because there was going to be a thing there next week.
It's because they don't
You know?
want you to see anything for free.
Yeah, well, and
if
that's the
you
thing.
if
Like
you
all
think
the
the
walkways,
Las Vegas
all the
Grand Prix is
walkways
so
that we went
bad,
on,
you
they
should
all
see
had
it when
these
they go
big
to
walls
Nashville.
up so that you couldn't see anything from that because that's in preparation for the Formula One because they had all the walkways blocked so people couldn't stand on the walkways and see the race, which is fine, but that has nothing to do with when we were there. So we couldn't see anything from there. So getting any good shots like that. And a lot of my pictures, have like fencing in them and stuff because they got to put the fencing up to protect the people from, wheels popping off and stuff like that. So there's like fencing everywhere. It looks like the place is about ready to get blown up or something. So, but I did get a picture of the Mirage since it probably won't be there next time I go.
Yeah, and they just like blowing up casinos now. It's like
They do. They like blowing up casinos and just leaving big old holes.
when I
'Cause
was
I'm
a
like,
kid, my mom
there's
used to
like
sing. When I
holes.
was a little kid, my mom used to sing at the Sands,
Oh
and
wow.
she would sing at the Sands, and there's times where like you would see Sammy Davis Jr. walk by.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
I was kind of a little bummed. Like it got better. So like we stayed at, of course we stayed at Sierra. So we're up there by the Strat. So those are like everything after that as you go south before you get to the, real strip, I guess, is like just the big old towers. It's like nothing but big old tall towers like you see anywhere in New York or Chicago or anywhere. And I'm like, this sucks because okay, outside of Circus Circus. I forgot about Circus Circus.
well, yeah, Circus,
Which I'm
Circus,
sure that'll be destroyed sometime this
and then the
this decade.
Excalibur, of course, has got the whole castle thing going on.
But that's all the way at the other end.
Not
So I'm
only
talking
that,
about
but
like on the north end. Like on the
Well,
north end is like
not only that, but once you go in,
it's like
it
everything
ruins
is
everything.
like but like everything on the north end is like no, like everything that's all the new, it's all new and none of it has any character. It's not like, like
Fremont Street.
the old Vegas or even like the Venetian or the Bellagio or like you said, the Excalibur, anything like that that has some kind of a character or theme to it. It's just a big freaking building. And granted, it's all about luxury or whatever, but to me, it's not my idea of Vegas, Like, but then I think of Vegas like, back in the days of like the Rat Pack or Sammy, and, so to me, it was just kind of like, I was a little disappointed. It got better when we got down there to like the Venetian and stuff like that. Treasure Island, we went in.
It's
But
high
like
class luxury is what they're kind of trying to sell you on.
right, but like
Yeah.
you can get that anywhere.
Yeah, well, like they're gonna get rid of the Tropicana. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
it's like
yeah, I did hear
Well,
about that.
they've already closed the Mirage and they're just waiting to tear that down.
now if you got a chance to like go into the old
Hmm.
Riviera kind of had that look of the old way. The Sands had the look of the old way. The
Hmm.
Dunes had the look of the old way. You know,
Yeah.
and that feeling of old town, it gave everything a really strong sense of character. Now, if you go down to Fremont Street,
Fremont Street. Yeah.
you can still get some of that from the Golden Nugget and that
Right.
area down there, the Sevens. You can get a little bit of that, but at the same time, they're constantly trying to, hype that area up because it did become kind of a slum.
Right. Yeah. And
Just
they're trying
because,
to bring it back.
yeah. So they created the Fremont Street experience, which they've got, zip lining going right down the middle
Yeah.
of the thing. They got the, weird little thing up on top where you can see all kinds of like designs and they can do pictures. And then
Oh, right. Yeah.
they also do live free concerts and stuff right there in the middle of Fremont,
Mm.
and so it's become an epicenter for even locals to go down there and have a good time and not have to spend a fortune.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you still got the seedy element because you got the Glitter Gulch right there,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
and which that's a mainstay of Vegas is having, the strip joint right there,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you don't need to have guys walking around in G-strings pretending to be the guy from Hangover with his dingling hanging halfway out while your kids are walking around. There's
No,
there's got
exactly.
there's got to be an equal medium, like I
Yeah. I didn't
understand.
see any men. It was all women. But
Well,
the
it,
thing
it
that got me
it all
was
depends on when you're there, it'll be
it
Yeah.
one thing or
wasn't
the other.
even it wasn't even like super attractive women. It was like some of them were like heavier girls. And since it was cold out, like the poor things had they could wear like a little jacket, like a little
Uh-huh.
like a little it looked like a little kid's jacket. It was a tiny little jacket as long as it like didn't close in the front, right? Because they still had to show off the cleavage. And then, but they could have like the lined, it looked like lined stockings or whatever, but they still had to have on like the G-string, whatever kind of thing, because they got to show off the goods. But I was like, man, I feel for these girls. They got to be freezing their little patooties off.
And you don't know how many of them are there to entertain for one of the casinos, or they're a hooker in
Well,
disguise.
they were, then who knows? Because they were always in groups. There was always like two or
Yeah,
three or
yeah.
four. They were always like in
That's
little
for
Yeah.
packs.
protection.
Yeah.
That's what I would think too. But they were always like in little groups and whatever, but they'd be taking pictures with people and some clown, like, oh God, what is it? The freaking Pennywise clown out in front of MGM. Is it MGM? No, out in front of Planet Hollywood, I think. We were just like, oh my gosh, look, there's who was it? It was Deadpool, I think. We were like, oh look, it's Deadpool. And this stupid Pennywise clown walks up and like touches the back of my neck. And I'm like, oh hell no. Like, I don't like clowns. And I'm like, don't touch me. It was that. It
Like,
was
get
so
away,
funny.
you creepy freaking thingy.
I was like, oh my God, he's touching me. It was really gross.
And
I
this
don't
is
like
why
clowns.
I stay away.
I don't like clowns. I mean, this was like, I don't know, because I think Ma was taking a picture of because I think Bluey was out front or something. She's like, oh my gosh, my nephew would love this or whatever. She's
Bluey? Oh my God.
taking a picture, and then
No,
I was
my
like,
sister
oh look, it's
watches
Deadpool.
Bluey.
And the next thing I know, like it was touching the back of my neck, and I was like, oh, don't touch me. I was like, oh, it's
Stranger
touching
danger, stranger danger.
right. It
Red
was
flag,
wild.
red flag, red flag. Go, 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 go.
I'll tell you, man, there was a lot of people trying to push bracelets on you.
Oh
A
yeah.
lot of those
If you
people.
think that's bad, you should go to Times Square, New York, where people are trying to get you to pay for their rap albums or whatever.
Oh no,
Oh
you
I,
wow.
you get the exact same thing if you go across the bridges from the New York, and the
Hmm.
MGM Grand. A lot of the times you'll have artists up there trying to push their discs, and the thing is there are some that'll
I
go out there where their disc doesn't have anything on it.
I didn't
yeah,
see any like that. I saw there was like one guy, there's a lot of people out busking, and there was one guy that was out there, and you could not hear him singing. I could see his mouth moving, but I couldn't hear him singing over his music. And I was like,
Yeah, good job there, buddy.
good go, dude. You know, I was like, I see you're
You
trying
sound
to do
great.
something there.
You
So,
sound
like,
great.
out of
sound
the
is-
things that you'd seen at the New Vegas event, what would you like to see that you didn't see? Actually, you know
What
what?
would I like?
Hold that thought, because we're
Break
going to be right
time.
back. We're going to take
Yeah,
a quick
take a break.
break, and we'll be right back after this message.
Oh.
Ever wanted to be a content creator but had no clue where to begin? Come join me as I sit down with content creators that have already faced the challenges you're up against, as they discuss the tips and tricks that help them be successful. Here on The Content Creator's Guide, available wherever podcasts can be found.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed our little commercial moment there. We started talking. I mean, of course, we're never stop talking. It's just kind of how we're
Never
built.
stop.
Yeah.
Never.
Never.
We were discussing our hotel rooms and things like that, in the New
How
Vegas
cold
events.
It got.
And, so I would recommend for those out there who want to have like that really good experience, I would probably go for like what Sassy Lady had done and gone to the Sahara or whatever. For those that are like trying to bottom dollar things as much as possible, like myself, because
Stay
I
out.
live locally, I could have drove home, but I'm like, all I need to do is be able to crash. And so I went to Buffalo Bills, and it turned out, fairly okay. Mind you, I'm still waiting for my deposit. Just saying. It's like, so they still owe me
stayed
like
in
50
Boulder
bucks
City.
for my deposit. So, but now, mind you, see, I took a little hot plate with me, a little one burner hot plate.
Oh,
And
that's why there was a fire. I'm just kidding.
If that's why they said that.
babe, they say you can't cook because they said you probably started a fire. No, so we were able to like we brought eggs and bacon and stuff like that, and
That's a good idea.
We made food inside the hotel room bathroom because it's got an updraft. You just turn the fan on and
Smart.
There you go.
Smart.
bathroom turns into a kitchen, and then
Yep.
we make sure we clean.
Well, your water's right there, so.
Yeah. Yeah. It worked out really good for us because I only ended up having to buy food at the actual event like one time because I didn't want to leave, so it didn't cost me too badly. But it's, if you want to eat food at an event like that, it's going to cost you money.
Yeah.
It's going to cost a lot.
It's
Even
not going
though
to be. It's not a
his
$5.
prices were more reasonable than I expected.
Oh yeah, they're not bad. No, but
Yeah.
you're gonna like if you got a family of 4, expect to spend 50
It does,
bucks.
yeah.
You're
Yeah,
going to
feeding
spend
one
50 bucks
person
on food.
versus 4
Yeah.
is a huge difference.
Yeah, one person, it's going to cost you. I think it's like 20 bucks for the ghost burger thing. It's like 25 bucks for the.
I don't know. It was like 14 or 15 bucks just to get a regular Brahmin burger, which is just a cheeseburger.
Yeah,
And it came with chips because I heard that story. The kitchen at the saloon is not rated to fry.
yeah, they can't use it.
So they serve chips. They can't serve fries.
Yeah.
But the food truck can fry.
Yeah.
And then I guess he's going to get the kitchen rated for whatever. But yeah, it's just different things that he's been working on. But you got to remember, this is an old place. This is an old
This is a
building.
historical monument, so it's like at the same time.
It was opened in 1913?
I
right?
don't know the exact date, but yeah,
I think
it's
that's
around
what he
that
said
time.
in the video.
Because that's when they changed the name from Goodsprings to Jean, Nevada. And so Jean, Nevada
And it was
Goodsprings.
Goods
Yeah.
Spring.
Yeah.
When it started, it was Goods Spring.
And then it became Good Springs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so like the whole, building itself, he's able to build onto elements that are non-existing. So as long as they're not attached to the original structure, but he cannot like build on.
He can't expand the building.
He can't. He can't expand on the actual building itself. Otherwise, it loses its historical value.
Right.
So,
and that's the problem you run into with historical buildings. They're cool, but you can't change anything.
Do anything.
You can
so,
repair,
like in this case,
you can do that kind of stuff. Yeah,
it's not a big bar, So, and so there
Everything
was like
around it's big.
lines.
Well, we're constantly expanding there. I mean, there's now, four
because he
solid
built
new
on
bathrooms?
patios.
Yeah, the
and
bathrooms and
he's got the big nice deck on the side. That was really nice. I was surprised at how many people were
toilets
on that deck.
that flush.
Yeah. And
That's a
those
bonus.
were partially done, but those were still, and that was
but
nice.
they were very nice though. They were not poo-pooey.
They were real nice. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I didn't see those the first day, but the second day I was like, dang, how come? I'm like, I'm not going back to the porta
Why are
potty.
you going to the porta potty? Yeah,
And
hell
then
with
I was
that.
inside. It was funny because the ladies inside the bar, somebody wrote on the wall. There's some graffiti in there, like it's like it's New Vegas related. It's like don't go through the North Pass or something like that, and watch out for death claws and stuff like that. It was really funny.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in it. Yeah,
It was
the
fun.
bathrooms inside the actual bar, I would go outside and go to the new bathrooms because they are much more in good condition because
They're older.
you got to keep the bathrooms kind of authentic to what they were, to a certain degree. But at the same time, as long as it passed health
I
code,
mean,
who
it beat the
cares?
porta potty. Not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
yeah. Anything beats a porta potty.
Yeah.
Ask any construction worker.
But it was cool to be in the bar, to see the bar, to hang
Yeah.
out because I was in there
And then we also
Saturday night.
We left our mark in the bar. Did you guys sign the book?
I saw it. I took a picture of it.
Did you sign the book?
I did sign the book. Well, I don't know
Okay.
if it was the recent book. It was the most recent I could find.
Well,
Because there was like 2 books over there, and one of them, like I looked at it, and the last date in it was like October, I think.
I sign that book every year for the most part.
Yeah.
Actually, I forgot to.
Well, I signed it.
Yeah.
So I signed a book.
Well, I didn't sign the
And,
book, but I signed the baseball hand grenade, and
saw that.
left that there. So there's a
Yeah, that was
baseball hand
there.
grenade by the Fallout Round Table, sitting at the Pioneer Saloon forever and ever. Amen.
Yep. I saw that. It was easy to pick out. I was like, oh, he did it.
Yeah, I sure did.
I took a picture of it. But I got to see like the bullet holes in the wall and
From where the
where they
guy
killed
was playing cards.
Yeah, the cheater.
Yeah, the ghost that haunts that.
But I sat
place.
back in that, like Chip and I were sitting in the corner, talking to some girl from, I think she was from Wisconsin. Because I was looking for KT. I was like, oh, I came here with a guy from Wisconsin. I don't know where he is.
Yeah. All of us Great Lakes region people know each other now.
I know you all do. That's why I was like, I gotta find him because I know you know him. He's from Wisconsin as well, so obviously you would know him.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You're
It always
cheesehead.
seems
You
like
know
that.
them all. No, I know.
Yeah, we all know each other.
But I was just like,
we all
oh,
thrive
hey,
in
yeah.
the cold.
Like you have to meet him because you obviously will know him. Your neighbors. So yeah. So we were sitting there and it was funny because she was talking to Brian and then I was talking to Brian's friend Reg, who like runs around with him and like does his shooting and stuff. Oh my God, the stories that man was telling me about Brian was hilarious.
Brian,
Brian-
I know you're talking about his buddy Rod or whatever. Rob?
Reg.
Reg?
Yeah,
Reg?
he's from England.
Yeah.
He's from
Yeah.
Manchester.
That dude
Yeah.
is a hoot.
Or
man.
Liverpool. I forget which.
That guy
Oh
was
my God.
funny.
The stories. Oh my God.
Brian's just pissing me
Brian he's a butt.
Well, I saw when he comes up to me and he's like, "Have you seen Brian?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"What? Have you seen him?"
And
That
you're like,
bastard?
who?
That
Chip.
bastard asked me to go get him a drink, and now he disappeared again.
Right. Oh my God. He was always so mad because every time he was like, what does he want me to do this time? Yeah. This is like, what now? He can't make up his
He
fucking mind.
reminds me so much of Cogsworth, his voice.
He was so great. We
Yeah.
just sat there. He was telling me all these stories. Like I guess Brian took him into the woods one time and he was like, no, it'll be fine. It'll be safe. This is gonna be fine. And they heard noises and he's just like, just freeze or whatever. And so Reg is just standing there. He turns around, Brian's gone. And Brian just like took off. I guess they came out of the woods and the park rangers were just standing there like, we were just wondering if you were going to come out of there because you got in between 2 mating bears. And, and he's like,
that's funny.
well, this asshole told me to just stand there.
So for those that don't know, the Brian that they're referring to is our buddy Chip.
Yeah, Chipmunk.
Yeah.
The Chipmunk Show.
Yeah.
He plays the sweet little innocent pioneer scout.
Yeah,
And
and
he's not so innocent.
No, he's always getting us in trouble.
He does get into trouble, which is true to character. So that is a lot
It's
like
so
his character.
funny.
Yeah,
But apparently
he
Such a-
enjoys it a
is
lot more
real
than he seems like he
trip.
does when he's got that head on.
He is
Yeah.
a trip. And he just sits there and I'm like, dude, did you do these things? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know.
And oh my gosh. And yeah, and I talked to Linda for a while too, his wife. So, but yeah, that was fun. That was fun getting to make fun of Brian for a while and talk to Reg. That was a good time. I did that Saturday night while Ma was holding court. Everywhere we went, Ma was holding court because you know how Ma is.
Yeah, she
Ma
gets
is
going.
literally
Man.
everyone's mom. And so everywhere we went, and of course, anytime we go somewhere and somebody knows her, I'm like, oh yeah, or they don't know her. Okay, it's like if they don't know her, I'm like, oh my gosh, how do you not know Mom Tater? Like, she's a Twitch partner, she's a big streamer. How do you not know her? And she's like, would you shut up? They don't need to know that.
So when I interviewed her, I'm like, so I normally would ask people who they are, but no, we don't need to do that because we have the world famous Montana.
Like everybody knows you.
Yeah.
That
And
woman
she's
could
like,
not walk
oh,
5 feet
stop
without
it.
somebody stopping her. She could not walk 5 feet without somebody stopping her. Like she was picking up little friends.
That lady lights up a room, man.
She
really
does.
Cool. Yeah.
She does. I love hanging out with her. I love her. She's just such a joy to be with. And she's like what you see is what you get.
Yeah, she's completely transparent.
That's just how she is.
There's no bullshit to Ma Tater.
Yeah.
Like
it's not an act.
No, yeah.
It's not an act. It's not like she gets
really
on
is
and
just
acts.
that pleasant peach.
That's her.
Absolutely.
That's her.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a facade. It's not an act.
It's not a character.
It's not phony.
Yeah.
That's her. That is her.
Yeah.
And she's always like that. And she's always, it's funny. She always deflects. Like if you're like, oh my gosh, you're so famous, or like everybody, because I was always teasing her. So I'm like, well, there's Ma holding court again. She's like, would you stop? It's not. They're just talking. It was like she deflects.
You got her voice pretty good right there. Just.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. She always deflects because she's not full of herself.
Yeah.
She's not like, oh yeah, I'm big time streamer. Everybody
She's not
knows
famous
Mom.
brain. She doesn't big time yet.
Mm-mm. Yeah. And it's funny because she's still like, I don't even know how I'm here. Because she's like, I don't know. I just play games.
I'm just playing video games and talking to people.
Pretty much.
Just what I'm
when she got started, we really got to have her on here sometime because her story of how she got started is hysterical. It's because I just was talking to her. I think we were driving up to Fashion Night, and I was like, "How did you get started?" And it was like, and I just looked at her like, "Are you kidding me?" Like she didn't even. People were watching her stream because she thought she was just streaming for her sister on Twitch, like nobody else.
I started out doing internet stripping, and then just out of nowhere,
no,
people started like really coming on. And
well, then she like her sister was like, "People, I've been talking to people in chat." She's like, "People who's watching?" Like, what people? She's like, people can see you. And she's like, they can see me. Like, she thought it was just her sister that could watch her. She didn't know it was like anybody on Twitch could watch her.
Duh! Surprise.
Then she started talking to this guy was like, well, how many people do you follow? And she's like, I don't know. Where is that? It's like
how's this thing work anyway?
Yeah, like some guy was just explaining to her how everything worked and what she was doing, and it was pretty funny. I was like, only you would have that kind of luck. And here she is. Like everybody knows her.
Yeah, I'd be sitting in there having a 45-minute conversation with myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm playing this video game.
That's us.
Go check this out.
And her, she's just like,
I'm over the hills and through the woods to grandmother's house we go.
But it's just, and I tell her it's because the things that she does that makes people feel a certain way, they all feel like they're welcome and loved and valued, and that's why,
she's so inviting.
She is, and just having that Ma kind of persona, like, just makes everybody feel comfortable. And
you can't even call it a persona. It's just her.
Well, yeah, but I mean, just her being her. Yeah, her being her is pretty much it. That's all she's got to do. But Yeah.
So
So it was
you know
fun. It
what?
was fun hanging out with her and watching her get, waylaid by people every 2 feet. And I lost her like I don't know how many. Saturday was worse. I couldn't find her to save my life Saturday. And I was, I'm like, I'm just looking for the little red hat bobbing around. And I still couldn't find her because there were so many people.
You
So I
need
found
you need to put a
Shia.
balloon on the back.
I know that's what I need to do. Like they do with little dogs and do it with her.
Do that with
But
short people.
so I found Shane and Overshia, and they were sitting at a table on the deck. So I just hung out there, and we were sitting right next to Benny dealing
Corey.
poker.
Corey's his name.
Corey, who? The guy?
The black guy, the YouTuber
Oh,
that did all the programming on his thing. Yeah, the big timer. That's his name is Corey. Yeah, Witherspoon, I
oh,
believe.
I
Corey
didn't think he was a
Witherspoon.
black guy. The guy that I
No,
heard was a white guy, and I think he was British.
no. The
Maybe not
guy.
British, but
Yeah, no, that guy was there too. I know who you're
yeah.
talking about, but the guy that
Oh,
actually
I know who
did,
you're talking about.
yes,
The guy that made his own.
the guy that made
Yeah,
his
because he
own.
wanted to trade Brian for his, but Brian was like, he was like, I'll trade you mine for yours. And Brian was like, nah, he goes, this has got sentimental value because he's got the Fallout 3 one or the Fallout 4 one or something. Yeah, he's got one of the rare ones. He was like, I'll trade you this for that. And he was like, nah, I can't.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, because
that's right. I saw him talking to Brian in
Corey
VIP.
Witherspoon, which I don't remember what he calls
He
himself.
was cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was talking to him for a minute.
very, very interesting individual. And then, of course, his friend Orange, who has been doing YouTube videos and Twitch or TikToks since he was like 11 years old.
Wow.
And yeah, and he's already done multiple things with Bethesda beforehand, and he's actually looking into doing a reality TV kind of video game hybrid. So it's kind of like
Wow.
you would kind of experience Fallout, but as like almost like a escape room kind of situation kind of thing, like a
Oh,
yeah, where you'd be like a game show kind of setup. It was a
interesting.
very interesting concept. I thought it was quite
Right.
neat and very
Hmm,
passionate about it too. I mean, the
that's
guy's been
cool.
doing it. Yeah, I was like, oh, it's very interesting.
I love to see people passionate about stuff, It's like just kind of gets you caught up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember seeing him
you
and
guys
talking to
kind of
him.
missed out on the after party. Man,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
that's a
saw some clips
I
from it.
heard all about it.
yeah. Well, the burlesque part of it was definitely burlesque.
I did
um,
not realize that Fallout family was involved in burlesque, but apparently.
yeah. Well, uh, yep.
Well, I've looked into her. So, like, they have like different social media accounts. So, there's like her Fallout family one, and then she has her burlesque one under her name. I forget what her name is. And I was like, oh, okay. So, it's like, I was like, I get it now.
But there was a lady there that they were like doing dancing with fire, like
Oh, yeah. I saw a
just
little bit of that.
doing the fire stuff. The fire stuff was
Mhm.
really cool. Just because it takes a lot of talent not to burn your ass, you know.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
kept wondering to myself, are you cold while you're doing that? Because it's really cold out here, you know. I
It
know it's
was
fire
cold.
and all, but you're not wearing a lot, and that's cold, you know. And then, to hear Old Man Liver really get down on the guitar and tear shit up on stage,
I
that was
saw that too.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he was,
Somebody, I forget who I was watching, but somebody had done a pretty good job recording that and putting it together.
so I've recorded large portions of that. I haven't shown anybody yet. That will probably be some of that kind of popping up. The only thing is we're gonna probably have to blur out a couple of things that were on stage.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, somebody did.
they had some props on
I
stage
forget. There
that
was a couple of
may
different
not.
people that I got videos from, but that I watched on YouTube. But there was some that like followed the day. There was somebody who just like taped the parade, because he was up front and listening to Old Man Liver give the tour and talk about the town. Because I ended up I missed half the tour because I stopped at well, I started talking to Mr. and Mrs. Fallout at the post office, I think. And then we kind of like got towards the back and walked over to some other building, and then we got stopped again. And so I never even made out to the cemetery. I never made it out there because I didn't even realize they all walked out there. So like
Yeah, we
all
walked
weekend I was
all the way
like,
out there.
We
yeah, so
did
like all
because they
weekend I
kept
was like,
trying to
hey,
get
I want
people
to go
off
to
the
the
street.
cemetery. I want to go to the cemetery, and we never made it out there. And I didn't even realize the tour had gone there until I watched somebody's video of the tour, and I was like, oh, because that was because we all stopped and were gabbing. Because I was talking to Mr. and Mrs. Fallout
Yeah, we
and
all took a picture
some guy
at the
from
sign.
Germany
Yeah, I was trying
and
to get people to pay
some other
attention
people.
to the local fire department that was sitting there. It just happened to have a table there, and I'm like,
Yeah,
how long have you guys been
they
sitting
were
there?
they were selling T-shirts, well, for donations because Ma got one, and I was like, dang, I want one of those, but I missed it because it was outside the school, and I didn't
Yeah.
go in the school either.
I didn't go inside the school just because I'm a local. I could probably get an opportunity to do that anytime I chose to, really.
I did last year,
I
so
don't
I
know
didn't
about
do it
going
this
in the
year.
school as a local just because, they don't generally let random people come in.
Well, at the same time, I don't really know that I'd want to.
Yeah, I mean, it just looked like a school.
It's a building.
Yeah.
You know,
I
I
went
don't get excited by
I went
shit like
last
that.
year
I never really
inside.
have.
The only
It's
thing
like
that I thought was kind of neat was because the teachers were like, "Hey, it's a teaching moment." She had everybody like sign their name and where they were from because she was going to use it to like she was going to have those kids get their maps out and find out where everybody was from. I was
well,
like,
that's
"That's
cool.
kind of cool,"
Yeah, that's
That's kind of cool.
but
tie
I
things
didn't.
together. I mean,
Yeah, but I didn't go in, so I didn't. Maybe Ma did, so maybe North Carolina got represented. I don't know, but she lives close to me, so I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't know. For some reason, certain elements of that stuff just doesn't excite me.
Well, so where I got caught up, and I totally missed this, but there's the older buildings, like he said, what used to be the general store and
Now,
whatever. There's a
those
couple,
when they're the ones that are falling apart and
the ones that are
stuff,
about to fall down.
those ones
Yeah, I
that
was.
interest me because that's almost like I used to
Yeah,
prospect when I was a kid. I go out in the mountains and try to find
I
like
see you would have loved
arrowheads.
this. So I was the guy from Germany and somebody was like, oh, these are great places to take pictures. So the guy from Germany was like, oh, let's take a picture. So we took a picture there, and I was like, oh, I gotta come back here because this would be a good place to do like photo shoot in your cosplay because I
Absolutely,
was
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
doing mags, and I was like, oh, somebody could take me some really good photos in my cosplay. So I was thinking about that, and I noticed that there was stuff on the shelves, like there were books and some containers and things like that sitting on the shelves in that, not the stone building, but the wood building that the roof was caving in
The
on.
one that kind of was crumbling, yeah.
And then somebody else had gone in there with a video camera, and there was a dead coyote in there.
Well,
I was like, oh,
talk
okay,
about
that
talk
kind of
about some
adds to
yeah,
the
it's authenticity there.
right. Like that kind of adds to it. This is a dead coyote laying on the floor right behind where I was standing. I was like, yeah, that's cool. So yeah,
But
somebody was like, oh wow, there's even a coyote back here. I was like,
that's
I
some
missed that.
legit shit there, man. Yeah.
Yeah, like some old ass stuff. But
But that's why we warn people when they're out there. It's like you guys got
uh-huh,
to understand this is not I you play the video game. The
right.
stuff that happens to you in the video game, it can happen to
Yeah.
you out
No,
here.
this is still the desert. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's still
it's like there may
there's
not be a
it's
gecko
nature.
come at you, but you're going to have
Right.
scorpions of the regular
Yeah.
size that they
Yeah,
can kill
regular.
you,
They're
and
probably more dangerous though to you
probably,
anyway.
yeah. But it's just like people don't always think, and it's like I see people walking around. I'm like, do you have water? What?
Right.
Do you have
I
water?
had tons of water, but I came back with some
They're like,
dry
but it's
lips.
cold out here. I said, it's the desert. It doesn't matter if
Oh my
it's
God.
cold. You are
I knew
going
it
to
was dry the second I
dehydrate.
got off the
Yeah.
plane. My hair was so staticky.
Yeah. Well, you're going to
I could do
dehydrate.
this and my hair would stand up like it does if you touch one of those electric ball things.
We have to constantly ingest water. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
no matter what, cold or
Yeah.
hot or whatever, we have to
Right.
constantly take water in
Because it's
because
so dry.
out here in the desert, it just sucks the moisture
Yep.
right
You
out of
have
you.
no humidity.
Yeah.
Not like here. Like it is, like I don't know what the humidity is right now because we're dropping
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
right
grew up in
now.
California. The humidity is kind of moderate, out there. So
Hmm.
like when it's like 75, 80 degrees, you feel very, I don't want to say moist. Sounds weird, but you
Moist. People hate that word.
you just sound
Moist.
well. You just feel more. You don't feel like you need lotion,
Yeah,
and things like
right.
that. Like
Like I'm starting to feel pretty
it,
scaly right
you
now.
you get 90 to 100 degrees out there in California, even in the California desert, you start feeling like you need a little bit of lotion. But like when you get out into like the deep Mojave, it just sucks every element of moisture out of you, in
Yeah,
cold or otherwise.
turn you
You
into
need
parchment.
yeah, you
Yeah,
need
because I could feel
lotion or
it.
whatever.
You know how
Like
much
my lips got
chapstick I
so
used
dry.
and I was still chapped?
Well,
Yeah,
did you guys see KT? That poor boy's lips were tore up.
mine
Oh
were
yeah,
getting
no,
bad, and I was lip balming it like every 5 seconds, and I was drinking water all day long,
Yeah.
and I was still like,
I was
I
drinking
came
water.
back.
It had beer in it, but I had water.
It's made with water, but
Yeah.
because I didn't drink much, and that was one reason because it'll dehydrate you too. So I didn't drink much. I think I had one drink Saturday that Shia bought me, and then I had a drink Sunday that Brian bought me.
I had like 2 bottles of water to
And
every
then
beer.
I think Zach might have bought me a drink. I don't remember now. But I think I
You did get a little saucy at some point because I
no, I
remember
really
that.
didn't because it was spread out all through the day. No, it's like been over 2 weeks ago, and I'm trying to remember like what we did. Um,
I remember vividly because I had a drinking buddy.
You had a
I
drinking buddy?
didn't.
Who
I
was your
had a
drinking
drink.
buddy?
People kept
Yeah,
offering to buy me drinks, but I was just like,
I forget his name. The ebook guy.
Oh, oh,
oh, that guy. What was
yeah.
his name?
Yeah, yeah,
Michael? Was it Michael?
Well,
yeah.
it's the
The
RD
book's
Fluke.
upstairs.
Yeah, the Fluke
Well,
guy.
he went by his initials too.
Yeah,
No, he was cool. He was really cool.
No,
actually,
He
no.
played a
He and I
boomer.
are friends now.
he,
He played a
he,
boomer.
well, we typically just call him Boomer, but
Yeah, he played a boomer.
Boomer.
He gave me a print book for Connor, and Connor was just like, "Oh man!" So Connor, I think, may be
all right.
coming with
So
me next year.
it's RD Fluke is what he goes under,
That's it,
but
RD. So I think it was Rob, maybe Rob,
I'm looking at his
or
profile right now,
yeah,
trying to get his actual name off here somewhere.
because I
He
downloaded.
is a legitimate LAV crewman, which is a light armored vehicle of the United States Marine Corps, which he was a sergeant first.
Yep. Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. So, and that's what his book. He does a post-apocalyptic element, and kind of
Hmm.
from his. See if I can find. Do 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 do. Yeah. 2005 to 2014. Man, he was a Marine for a long time. Well, okay, that says his wife's name. I'm not going to say that on air. I don't know if he'd feel too happy about me just going, and his wife's name is. How about his name, though? I don't see. Yeah, I just see RD Fluke. So, yeah. Well, just look up RD Fluke because I do believe that's how he put his name on his book.
It
And
is. It's because it's on the copy that I brought home.
yeah, so that's probably the moniker he's going by. So that we'll just use that. We call him Boomer just because.
Yeah, because he wore his flight jacket, I think, and he had some patches on it, and he made a rocket launcher, which incidentally,
Is legit.
um, yeah, and Chip or Brian Chipmunk used it in his episode, the Christmas episode that they filmed at
Oh, he used it.
Jamestown.
Yeah, he's used it in multiple because he was
Oh, I
RD.
thought he just used it in the
Yeah,
one.
Boomer's been in both of the commercials that we did. So
Well, he used this in the Chipmunk show, so
yeah,
he used that because they see Santa Claus. If you watch the one on Jamestown, the episode on Jamestown where he goes to the whatever the name of that resort is, um, he goes there and they see Santa Claus, and it's kind of one of those you'll shoot your eye out kid. You know, he's like, I really want this missile launcher, da da da, and they're like, you'll shoot your eye out, but he gets they wrapped it up in Christmas paper and he like opens it. He used to, it was like crazy. I was like, okay, weirdo. He
All
was
right,
like,
well,
yeah, he goes, that's what I used in that episode. And I was like, oh, cool.
so for those out there in, podcast land, the next episode that we do, we're going to have Old Man Liver on, and we're going to go over your guys' videos, the ones I took while I was there. And I didn't get that many of them, but I did get a few. And we're going to show those to Old Man Liver and watch his reaction to your guys' reaction to being at the New Vegas event for your very first time. So make sure that you guys tune in, and we will see you next week. All right? You have a wonderful night. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good morning.
That reminds me. Did anybody else get there early in the morning and hear the guy doing the Good Morning Vietnam thing?
Heard all about. I was there.
That was crazy. This guy had this huge camper shell, right? And it was all decked out and all this crazy crap. It was right there by the line where everybody was at, right in the corner of the
you're talking
street.
about like the post-apocalyptic, like Mad Max kind of thing.
Yeah. That dude hit like this far. Good morning, Vietnam.
Oh,
And
like
it was
out
the
of
Robin Williams.
nowhere. Yeah. I'm like, that's awesome.
Surprise. Anyway,
I guess you could go in there and buy stuff. I did not realize that.
Oh, I did not know that either. But
yeah,
anyway.
I saw it in the video. In the video, they were like, "Oh, this guy was selling stuff," and I was like, "I did not know that."
Well, we're gonna have to do more exploring into that. Anyway,
next time.
We're out of here, folks.
All these things.
Good night. Bye-bye.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.
Hello, Vault Dwellers. Join me, Jaxus, Sassy Lady Romer, Eric, and the Creator Maverick as we take topics from the Fallout universe and discuss them with other diverse individuals. We can be found wherever you listen to your podcast. You can follow us on YouTube. You can also find us on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it using @FalloutRTD. You can send us an email using falloutrtd@gmail.com. Join us. The conversation has already started.